Boston has entered the chat here on
Bingo! So I'm calling a fast break. Bingo! Hit me, layup. Good morning, Salem 5 Studios.
Good morning,
Friday,
Salem
July
5 Studios.
25th.
Yes. Travis Thomas, George Balekji. Boston has entered the chat. Can you tell it's a Friday for us? Good. I want to tell you this real quick before we get into everything in the proceedings. I saw a tweet yesterday that said this is the last Thursday with no NFL football until February.
The Hall of Fame game's on Thursday.
Yeah.
Who's in the Hall of Fame game? Steelers?
Is it Chargers and Lions
Chargers.
On a Thursday. And by the way, Hall of Fame game, usually like first weekend of August in there. Now it's a July. It's like the last day of the month.
I cannot wait to be watching that game.
Yeah.
And my fiance goes, "What is that?" It's July. Babe, it's always football season.
Just use my line. Should have married an accountant. Why'd you get with a sports guy?
That's brilliant.
That's what I do. My wife loves when I say that. I don't sleep on the couch ever. Coming up here in this program, we'll break down football, obviously, is now that training camp week 1 technically is behind us. So we'll turn the page, talk about what we've learned. And we'll also break down the heavyweight fight this weekend at Fenway between the Dodgers and the Red Sox. But remember this, we want you to get involved. So call us, 617-790-0928. Tweet at us using the hashtag Nesson Chat or email us at chat@nesson.com. Hey, we're here, 9 a.m. on Nesson Nation, 8 a.m. on Nesson. So join the party with us Monday through Friday. But let's start with the first week of training camp for the Patriots. You were in the building, my friend. What did we learn from this week?
I'm not going to start with offensive line talk. I won't do that to you.
Great.
What jumped out to me and what I learned, I think right off the bat, the eye test, and we knew it, what they did with the free agency signings, but this defense got a lot smaller. Now, they got bigger. Milton Williams lining up next to Christian Barmore. Those are two hosses.
Interior.
But Harold Landry, undersized edge rusher, but has looked really sharp through the first few days of camp. No pads on. How can they block?
Yeah.
Robert Spillane.
Yeah.
Big dude, but that smaller stature linebacker than what we're accustomed to in New England.
Sure.
Great laterally, great in coverage, really smart, and a sure tackler in open space. He would be a big safety, but now he's playing down in the box.
Sure.
Carlton Davis, a little thinner than Christian Gonzalez. Same length, same frame. So we're noticing a faster defense, and that's what translates to today's NFL, and especially for a defense that couldn't rush a passer and couldn't stop anyone unless your name is Christian Gonzalez.
Right.
That jumped out. But also, how the depth chart of the wide receivers breaks down will be something to watch. Stephon Diggs is wide receiver 1, no doubt about it. It's awesome he's a participant in 11-on-11s. Number 2 could be Pop Douglas. Number 3 could be Kyle Williams or Kendrick Bourne. And then you switch those two. And then from that point on, it goes, okay, how does it all fall together?
Yeah.
And that's how we see it going together. I think it should be Stephon Diggs, Demario Douglas, Kyle Williams, Kendrick Bourne. And then is it Matt Collins at 5, I suppose. Then we see Chisholm, Baker, Polk all full. But that's how it's going to go. And finally, the interior of this offensive line is completely up in the air. Mike Onwenu seems like a rock at right guard. But center, we've seen Jared Wilson take reps with Drake May, which means he's battling Garrett Bradbury for that starting center job. And at left guard, sure, we've seen Cole Strange. We've seen Caden Wallace, who was drafted last year, who was a right tackle at Penn State. Ellie Wolf tried to feed us chicken, you know what, and say it's chicken salad, and say he could be a left tackle. But now he's at left guard, along with Jared Wilson, the rookie out of Georgia, again, taking reps at left guard. If the interior offensive line isn't solidified, I do not care who's at tackle. I don't care who's at receiver. If the middle of the pocket is getting blown up for your second-year QB, who already had no time last year, then that's just going to stunt his development. The reason I didn't want him to start right away last year was the offensive line stinks. Drake May did good. But you need an offensive line eventually to actually develop, or else he's going to have happy feet. He'll never get timing down, and he'll never be able to hit his ceiling. The Patriots need to help him.
I think you did a great job sort of recapping the week that was. And I'm going somewhere where it's not the week that was. It's the week that's to come that I want to keep my eye on. And that's the battle I think we're going to see at running back. I think that's going to materialize. I will say this, though. You brought up the wide receivers and sort of the Rubik's Cube of how you make it work outside of those 3. The 3 you named, it was
Diggs,
Diggs,
Kyle Williams.
And Kyle Williams.
Should be your top 3
I'm with you on that, but I think after that, there's a lot of questions. So coming up later, we'll play start, bench, or cut with these guys, and we'll figure it out.
Cut.
Now,
you said cut.
Yeah.
Not kill.
No.
Okay. And
cut.
Start.
Cut, yes.
Not the...
Yes.
Oh, how'd that game...
Yeah.
Oh.
You know, it's hard enough to keep my wording right here.
Day kill Mary.
Yeah. Yes.
Different four-letter word.
Yeah, thanks. Now, I will say this at running back. I think in the weeks to come, the days to come,
Yeah.
I think Ramondre's going to be pushed a little bit from this Travion Henderson kid.
That'd be a great thing.
And I want to see it happen. And by the way, I always talk to you about this because I hate talking offensive line. I hate it. However, former offensive lineman told me the best thing you can do to help an offensive line that's not very good, Travis, is run the ball. We all love to run block.
Yeah.
We all, going
It's
back
fun.
to Pop Warner, we were the bigger kids.
Yeah.
How we learned how to play football was our coaches lined us up, taught us the three-point stance, and then taught us how to run people's faces
Put your face in their face and run through
That's
them.
right.
Yeah.
And so I want to see the battle at running back, not so much of who's going to be the bell cow. I do think ultimately this will be running back by committee. And then eventually you'll see who pulls away with it. But I think all that starts in camp. So I can't wait for the pads to come on and we start to see.
Yeah.
Because I think this Henderson kid is going to have a little.
He can play.
Yeah, he's going to have a little pep in his step.
And he's versatile. Like, again, when I talk about wide receiving depth, what Travion Henderson brings, his alignment can be anywhere.
That's right.
In the backfield, into shotgun or normal under center
What's his
formation.
offense need, brother?
In the slot, he has a wide receiver background to him. He's a really good athlete, and he's a good catcher and
Home
good
run
pass
hitter.
pro. If he pushes Ramondre Stevenson to be better, and Ramondre does get better, and Travion Henderson does flourish, dude, outside, like Saquon Barkley's one of one, and he had an all-pro offensive line.
Of course.
The best run games in the NFL, and even the ones that are rebuilding themselves to be better, it's two backs.
It is.
Even look at, for what the Detroit Lions have, it's David Montgomery and it's Jahmyr Gibbs.
Sure.
For what the Chiefs now have, they have complementary backs around Isaiah Pacheco. For what the Bills have, it's James Cook, but then they have Ray Davis who gives a change of pace. And for what even the Broncos are building, they got R.J. Harvey, but they got other dudes. With the Chargers, it's Omarion Hampton, who's going to be their guy, but then there's a Najee Harris.
I don't want to cut you off, but I would even argue, like a Saquon you talk about in Philly, you could say Derrick Henry in Baltimore, where they are traditional bell cows. They also have a change in pace. It may not be another running back.
Yeah.
It's the quarterback.
Yeah.
Lamar can run. Jalen Hurts can run.
Love
so
that.
you still have a different wrinkle, even with the guys who are traditional bell cow guys.
And everyone but Derrick Henry, you control their touches. Like Ramondre Stevenson, 2022, got ran into the ground, led them in carries and receptions. That can't happen. You're going to get beat up because it's also offensive linemen love to run block. Running backs love to run the ball, but that's a lot of hits, man. And you're in the middle of the field. There's no sidelines to hide from. You can't slide. You can't catch a ball and fall. You're getting everything beaten out of you.
Yes.
If he is fresher because Travion Henderson can take a workload off of him, and then Travion Henderson makes Ramondre Stevenson better because he's more fresh.
Right.
Travion Henderson benefits. Drake May benefits. And this offensive line, I love how you tied it into
Yeah.
that. Because what would you rather do? Get in your three-point stance and go forward and hit a guy? Or drop back into pass pro and have basically an SUV hit you in the face?
That's right.
You'd rather run block.
That's right. All right, look, we're talking a lot of offense, and I want to get to the defense. So let's blow through these sound bites here. Ramondre Stevenson talked about having sort of an up-tempo type of offense. We're talking Ramondre here. Hey, he's saying tempo is everything. Take a listen.
Just be good on first down. Positive play on first down. Don't go backwards. No pre-snap penalties, things like that. So we did all right, but we need to, still work to do.
What him talking about being big on first down.
Yep.
Man, you know what the best thing you can do on first down? First and 10?
Positive yardage.
Not just that, but basically cut the sticks in half.
Yeah.
Get 5 yards.
Yeah.
Get more than 4.5.
Sure.
Fine. You know what? If you get 4.5 on first, 4.5 on second down,
Yep.
you got 3rd and 1, you'll work with that.
Brady was
But
great at that.
This was a team that could not consistently get downfield and was continuing 3 and outs.
That's
punts,
right.
Short possessions.
Yep.
But most importantly, too, on first down, if you can be multiple. It was a lot of passing plays yesterday. It was a lot of first down type of situational football.
Yep.
And a lot of passing. If you don't become predictable on first down, that helps you out on second and third. That's good to hear from Ramondre Stevenson.
More wide receiver talk later in this program, but Kendrick Bourne, he's telling us, hey, this wide receiver competition is lit.
It's actually awesome. I think it's better than it's ever been from my experience being here, and I'm really enjoying it, man. You know, you love to have challenge. You love the environment of competition. It really brings the best out of you. So I think it's just every man against himself. You know what I'm saying? It ain't even against each other. It's a crazy, dynamic in a sense. But if we can have that mindset of all focusing on ourselves, challenging ourselves, beating ourselves every day, I think the cards going to play out how they play out. So I don't have any predictions. I'm just, doing what I'm supposed to do, and I think the room needs to have that mindset.
No one has been harder on these wide receivers than me. I've called them dollar store wideouts. I mean, I've just gone as disrespectful as possible. But even I can acknowledge if Kendrick Bourne can stay healthy, that's someone who can help. Exactly.
And that's a guy that is a leader in the room already. We go back last season in London. He's calling out the wide receiving room for being unprofessional. This is a guy that has experience in the Josh McDaniels system. Him and Hunter Henry are going to be vital for the new faces in this offense and for the guys that were in here the last time around Josh McDaniels was OC to learn the playbook.
Yeah.
And especially for the pass catchers that have to take a step forward. In a complex system, Kendrick Bourne mastered it in his first season with McDaniels, with Mac Jones as his quarterback. He's going to help Stephon Diggs pick it up. He's going to help Kyle Williams pick it up, which I think is vital. He's going to help Pop Douglas. I love hearing that from him. And in a way, too, he's great at the podium. He's great with his words, but that's a guy that also leads by his actions, where he's like, look, I'm going to do what I'm going to do, and he knows the rest of the guys are going to follow suit. And if they don't, then they're not going to be on this roster come the first week of September, and that's okay. Because if at the end of the day it's Diggs, Pop Douglas, Kendrick Bourne, Kyle Williams leading the way, I do have faith this passing offense will be fine.
Bro, we're talking running backs. We're talking all these receivers. Obviously, we always talk Drake May. None of this stuff works without a competent offensive line.
My man.
You have to get better at your offensive line play. Morgan Moses says, hey, that's going to happen this year. We have a pretty good group.
Yeah, 100%, man. It starts with the foundation, and it starts with the, the camaraderie and the brotherhood. So, when I first got here, there wasn't a lot of, offensive line dinners and things like that, and we hung out a couple of times already. And so that's the key, is just being able to get to know each other outside of the building. And Coach Vrabel's done a great job of, allowing us to get up in team meetings and share our stories. And that allows us to come back, together. Because if you can know your brother off the field, you'll definitely love him on the field.
Look, man, I love everything Morgan Moses is bringing from a leadership standpoint.
Yes.
Not just that he'll be a starting right tackle, has a lot of experience in the NFL.
He does.
But I go back to his day one, his introductory presser. And he was talking about, after he signed his contract, he was still waking his kids up at 4 a.m. to go work out. Still does that. Now entering year 13 in the league. That he spoke about getting in the training room and recovery. Waking up. So you do that workout at 4 a.m. You're in the training room at 5 a.m. You're getting ready, and then you got your whole work day.
Sure.
He's going to show those guys in the offensive line room what it takes to be a pro, not just on the field, but on your Pro Football Reference page, where it goes over 10 seasons. You know how difficult that is? And he was always available, 95% plus snaps played in the season. Now at his age, he's older now, but 84% plus snaps played. And he was playing through a knee injury last year. On top of being a rock-solid right tackle that is good and serviceable, he's going to show the young guys what it takes. What I did like, too, from day one, Demontre Jacobs, again, hard worker, great guy in that locker room. He's he's a fringe roster player. But Morgan Moses walked out for day one of training camp. Demontre Jacobs was attached on his hip the whole way walking out to the field and all the drills. If he can pour into those guys and make Demontre, you'll laugh, but a good backup right tackle.
Sure.
That's what the Patriots need. Because if we look at their tackle depth, as Caden Wallace is taking reps at left guard, if Will Campbell or Morgan Moses don't work, it's Vidarian Lowe, Demontre Jacobs, and Marcus Bryant. Marcus Bryant was a 6th, 7th round pick for a reason. Demontre Jacobs isn't a starting tackle. Vidarian Lowe, good guy, not a starting tackle. They need the depth to get better. They need Moses and Will Campbell to work out really bad as well.
We're talking offense here, but I want to get to the defense. And the reason I say that is because I think next week, in the upcoming days here, we're going to start to see glimpses of how potentially special this defense could be. You talked about the schematics of the big hog mollies up front, and now we're seeing speed behind them in this new look Patriots defense. And then we know, 1-2 punch, corners on the outside, you have absolute ball hog demons in Carlton Davis and Gonzalez. I want to see in the upcoming week, I want to start to see flashes of this defense come together. You're not really going to get that in the opening week. We're reflecting on the week that was, right? You're not going to get that. These guys aren't in pads. I think next week we're going to start to see this defense start to take shape.
Once the pads come on and the pass rush can open up, we're going to find out a lot. Because Harold Landry's look great out there. And there were one-on-one drills yesterday. We were seeing offensive linemen get taken to the watershed, behind the shed, however you want to put it. Once the pads come on, how effective is Harold Landry? How good does he look? How is Keon White in the system? How does Milton Williams and Christian Barmore look together?
Right.
But this is the part I haven't talked about, and I'm hammering how important the middle of the offensive line is.
Yeah.
How does Will Campbell look at left tackle? The success of this offense hampers on him getting the job done at left tackle. Go on, well, no big deal. If he gets kicked in a guard, He's going to be a really good guard. He has the potential to be an all-pro NFL guard for a long time. Great. But when Vidarian Lowe's your left tackle, that's a lot of trouble. When Marcus Bryant's your left tackle, that's a lot of trouble. Those guys still need to develop, and they can't play that well yet. Will Campbell has to work. Once those pads come on, my binoculars are all on him, man. How is he doing? What does his arm length and what does his wingspan look like in pads against NFL competition, where these guys are one of 64? These guys are one of the 64 elite edge rushers in the NFL. How does he look against them? Because if he pans out at left tackle for this season, good. Long term, man, they struck gold. They struck gold in the desert. If he just works for a stopgap before they get a left tackle, even better. But he needs to work. And same thing with Morgan Moses. At his age, coming off a knee surgery and a knee injury he played through last year, how does he look?
If there are any offensive linemen who watch Boston Has Entered the Chat, you're welcome for George Balekji. Because me, personally, do you run a 4-3? Can you tackle? Can you intercept the ball? Can you score touchdowns? Can you throw touchdowns? Then I'm in the conversation. The second we start talking offensive line, I have left the chat. But George, this is the chat for you. I mean, he loves offensive linemen. So if you love offensive lineman talk, this is the program for you.
Look, man, grew up a wide receiver, obviously undersized,
Yes.
short king.
Yes.
If your quarterback doesn't have time, your receiver ain't getting the ball and he ain't moving downfield.
I think in a past life, you were absolutely 6'7", 400 pounds of raw steel, angry, just absolute pancake block offensive line.
You see me eat, you literally said to me, bro,
yes.
how much do you weigh? Because
I'm
all you
telling
do is
you.
eat.
Yes.
In a past life, I was
In
definitely
a past life, you were an offensive lineman. There's no doubt.
You know, man, I'm just proud first-generation American. My parents came from villages in Lebanon. I think I just got that in me. You see something, you eat it. That's all it is.
I think in a past life, I was a loudmouth sports broadcaster.
Wait, what? No. Past life, Trav, not this life.
Oh.
This life, you're that.
I couldn't be the same thing.
You could be, honestly.
I think I was. Still to come here on Boston Has Entered the Chat. Hey, we'll preview this weekend's heavyweight bout, is what I'm calling it. Dodgers, Red Sox at Fenway. Somebody's going down. We'll do that next on Boston Has Entered the Chat. And remember this, get the latest up-to-date live. We've got Boston sports headlines along with your daily dose of trending sports and social topics every weekday on Boston Has Entered the Chat. Catch us live at 8 a.m. on Nesson and 9 a.m. right here on Nesson Nation every Monday through Friday. Welcome back into Boston Has Entered the Chat. Travis Thomas, George Balekji. I'll be at Fenway this weekend, my friend. Dodgers, Red Sox.
My man.
I'm loving life.
I'll be locked in on the tube.
What do you think?
Home stretch for wedding planning. I can't take any weekends.
You're in the clutch right now. I understand.
It's the worst time to be alive.
What are you thinking in terms of, here's where I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I think the Sox take 2 out of 3. I like Bayo tonight. I love Crochet.
I like Bueller against his old team.
I like Bueller against his old team. I like what I've seen lately from Bueller.
Yeah.
But, it's been inconsistent.
Okay.
We're honest here.
Yep.
So I have some trepidation about Sunday, and then just saying sweeping the Dodgers. I can't fix my lips to say that.
Okay.
But I do believe the Sox will take 2 out of 3. You're not there.
With this team, the highs are so high.
Yes.
And when they tap into that ceiling, you go, okay, I get it. I understand this team, the structure they have, the depth of the lineup, how good they are defensively. When the pitching is clicking, you're like, all right, they have a rotation.
You have to admit, it would be very Red Sox this weekend to take 2 out of 3.
Yes.
Right? Because we'd be like, what? Because it's the roller coaster.
And it would be the best thing they can do.
Yes.
Where they sit in the wild card standings after the Mariners just got Josh Naylor, a team they're jockeying with. So a team not just in the league, but literally fighting with them for the same playoff spot.
Yes.
The sense of urgency has to be through the roof. And again, it's not just a series by series or game by game conversation.
No.
It is a MLB trade deadline conversation.
Big picture.
Take 2 of 3 from the Dodgers. Sweep the Dodgers. I think that would be the most Red Sox thing ever.
That'd be nuts.
Right.
That'd be nuts.
Sweep them. And then, as I keep saying, you're at Fenway. You look up to the box and you go, give us help. Yeah. We need another bat. We will do this, but only for so long. It's only so sustainable of what you can do. I don't see them taking 2 or 3 against the Dodgers, though. Because we could talk about the pitching, which matches up well with the Dodgers lineup.
It does.
That's been average the last month.
It has.
And been okay in the full month of July. I'm going at last month, going back to
some injury issues, too.
mid-June.
They're not healthy.
100%. And depending how the rotations break down, like it's going to be Dustin May. Does Yamamoto get the ball? Does Shohei Ohtani throw 2 innings or 3 innings? We'll see. We know it's Kershaw and Crochet on Saturday. I give that to the Sox because that's what Crochet is. But with it all, too, it's a lineup that is either on fire or cold. Like, I don't want to look past for their walk-off win to finish up against the Phillies, which was fantastic and electric. And you got to play 9 innings, in that case 11. You can't take the air out of the ball. You can't knee the ball out to let the clock run.
Sure.
Luzardo was perfect through 3 innings. Then he fell off in the 5th. Walking batters and then set up the Romy Gonzalez grand slam. They took advantage of the other team's mistakes and Luzardo losing his touch. But this is a lineup that goes hot and cold all the time.
Yeah.
And they keep looking around for someone to be a hero. It has to be Alex Bregman pinch hitting. It has to be Romy Gonzalez with that grand slam, and then Carlos Narvaez stepping up in the clutch. But Carlos Narvaez's bat has fallen off. Abraham Toro's bat has fallen off. When you go to the depth of the lineup that the Dodgers bring, it's Pages in center field. It's Freddie Freeman. It's Will Smith. All around 300 or better. Then it's Shohei Ohtani. The depth that this Dodgers lineup has against the pitching, but it's also the depth that the Red Sox have, but it's not consistent. The bats are the best in baseball when it comes to Los Angeles. In July, they've struggled. They have only 7 wins, 4 of those coming against the White Sox. I can't figure out this Dodgers team, and I can't figure out this Red Sox team, but when the two come together, and baseball is not one on paper. It's not one on computers.
Sure.
But I look at both lineups, and it's hard for me to say the Dodgers can't take 2 of 3.
No, of course.
If the Red Sox need to take 2 of 3, I want them to. I want them to buy at the deadline.
Of course.
They need to add an arm. They need to add a bat. I want them to take 2 of 3.
Yes.
But in my heart of hearts and with my gut and with my brain, I look and I go, how can I believe this team that only took 1 of 3 against the Cubs and the Phillies, and now they're facing Los Angeles?
I don't even have a problem with that, even though we disagree on the outcome of this weekend. Your breakdown is, how can I argue any of those things? You gave me straight facts. I could also see your scenario where they get 1 win against the Dodgers. I'm going to go 2. Here's where I do disagree with some of your breakdown, though. I mean, look, yes, you went 2-4 against the Cubs and Phillies. You know, you mentioned the heroics, the miracles in a lot of ways that you needed at some of the end of those games to not get swept. But you didn't get swept, okay? It happened. Now, if I'm right and you take 2 out of 3 from the Dodgers this weekend, all of a sudden those Cubs and Phillies series go away any damn ways, okay? You're right back in that momentum thing. 9 out of your next 12 games are at Fenway, where you've been pretty damn good this season. So that's where I disagree with you, but here's where you hit the nail on the head. I'm so glad you went here. We'll get into this later in the show. The Mariners making a move before the deadline, which is what you've been screaming.
By the way, it's not till Thursday. Because the MLB trade deadline is July 31st, doesn't mean you can only make trades.
That's right.
On July 31st.
Which is what you've been saying.
I want everyone out there to know.
And the Mariners.
Just be aware.
The Mariners, much like the Red Sox, I mean, it's like looking in a baseball mirror here because they needed some pop at first base. They're fighting for a wild card spot. Oh, my God. It's like the Boston Red Sox. But they go out and do what George said. They didn't wait till next Thursday. They got it done now, baby. And that hurts the Red Sox big time. I agree with you there. But again, if you can have a good standing against the Dodgers this weekend, take 2 out of 3, I think it quells a lot of noise around this team. I think that the Cubs and Phillies series don't look as bad. And I think the trade deadline, you feel a little more aggressive to go out and be buyers as opposed to either standing pat or selling, which at this point, I think that ship has sailed. I think it's either they stand pat or they add.
This is a Dodgers team coming off a walk-off win on Wednesday as well.
Yeah.
We could talk about, as Romy Gonzalez put it, signature win for the Red Sox. Hey, they were down 5-0. They fought back. They sent it to extras. They went down, and then Carlos Narvaez puts them up. And they win 9-8. His 2-run shot made it 9-7. But that's a Seattle team that needs help with their offense, needs help with their lineup, and currently a half game up of them in the wild card standings.
They literally, it's twins, bro. It's the same thing.
The Rangers are just a game and a half back. How it's been all year for the Red Sox, the margin of error for winning games, let alone making it into the postseason, is so slim.
Yeah.
And this is where I keep coming back to, but end of the day, this is Boston's end of the chat. The voice of the fans, we want it in this, right? Fans have not seen a Red Sox playoff appearance since 2021. And I probably say that almost every show, definitely every week, because I want to keep reminding people that this is Boston. It is the best sports city out there. The standard for the Boston Red Sox, it's not getting into the postseason.
Right.
It is being contenders and making runs, winning pennants, and getting into the World Series and winning it.
Yeah.
That's the standard. So this team needs to pull through to create room for them to get into the postseason and win. It's not just punching your ticket in, but it's also dancing with someone and lasting a few songs.
Yeah, no doubt.
They have the structure and they have the foundation. They do. Garrett Crochet, Aroldis Chapman, Garrett Whitlock, Brian Bayo. Alex Bregman, Carlson Weiss, if he could pick it back up, Cedane Rafaela, Trevor Story, Roman Anthony. I named 9 impact players.
Yeah.
And we can go through the lineup and say, hey, they got 5, 6 good, consistent bats. We'll see what more comes out with Marcelo Meyer. But this is a team that needs to help themselves, and they need help. And that's why I love talking the series preview. I'm excited to see Red Sox Dodgers at Fenway.
Of course.
I can't wait for all of it. But it's bigger picture than taking 2 or 3 against the Dodgers. They need to. They've lost the last 2 series coming out of the All-Star break. They need to win this series.
Yes.
They need to win the series to salvage themselves right now. They need it for the standings, and they need it to say, get us help at the deadline.
Yes, but I think there's some context to add to some of this stuff. Like, okay, you lose to the Cubs, you lose to the Phillies. We're talking about 2 of the best teams in the NL. Now, the Dodgers are, but they're not playing like it right now. So timing-wise, great. Go out, take 2 out of 3 this weekend from the Dodgers, and you're in better shape. There's context there to that. I also think some of the teams you named in the American League and saying how, look, this is Boston, the standard just can't be get into the postseason. It's got to be do something once you get there. I think that's possible. I think there's context to that, too. Some of these teams that are on the schedule, I said 9 out of your next 12 are at Fenway, right? Some of these teams are going to play now. The Twins, you go on the road. But the Twins are not what we thought they would be this season. Mm-hmm. The Royals certainly are not what we thought they'd be this season, and you get them at Fenway.
Yeah.
So I think as we look ahead to the schedule is, I guess, where I'm going here.
Yeah, it's fine.
Softens a bit. We didn't necessarily think that a month ago. We knew a month ago, George, and we're watching it in real time, that this current schedule that they're in out of the All-Star break, where they were hotter than fish grease, we knew this is going to be murderer's row. And it is. And it looks it. And you know what? For all the pieces that this team does need, and we've been saying and we've been illustrating all year, right? For all of that, one thing no one can take away from this group is they fight. They are scrappy.
They do.
And they are scrapping. I expect the same thing at Fenway this weekend. I think they'll have a good showing. I think it does matter against the Dodgers. And then I think you're not going to create what you had before the All-Star break.
Yeah.
But you can get a little momentum from this series to carry over for the rest of these, which is American League based.
Yeah.
Now you're swimming in your waters again. Because right now, brother, they're in the deep end with these NL teams.
Yeah. And that's where this race is shaping up, how they need the depth. And especially, like, the Marcelo Meyer injury adds a lot
It does.
to this, because what's the long-term look? There's the short-term and the long-term.
Yes.
But I'm talking both within the season.
It changes a deadline, too, potentially.
It does change the deadline, because it also changes what your plan is with Alex Bregman. He still doesn't look right on the base paths, but his plan is for him to play 2 of every 3 games, and that's fine. You want to bring him back along.
Right.
I don't want his quad long-term to be injured, but also within the season.
Yeah.
Well, the reason you can do that is because Marcelo Meyer was an absolute stud at third. Okay, is it Abraham Toro, Romy Gonzalez helping him out in the corner? Is it someone else? Okay, then what do you do at second? Again, is that Romy Gonzalez in that spot, who's a ball player but not a second baseman? But with all that as well, in this lineup, who do they trade for? Because do you go and get a Ryan O'Hearn trade for a Ryan O'Hearn?
Sure.
Now, that'd be a tough move to make. Do you trade for a Taylor Ward that helps out the outfield where you have all that depth? There's a lot to it,
There's a lot. I just want the pitcher. Honestly, I want the pitcher.
Mackenzie Gore, fill in the blank.
Fill in the blank.
Mackenzie Gore, it's not Joe Ryan, because Twins don't seemingly want to move.
Yeah,
him.
but the Twins, that's another team. You beat the hell out of them. The deadline will be gone by
They could be playing coy. Here's the thing, too, I look at both ways. With the Twins basically taking Joe Ryan out of trade conversations.
Well.
They could, exactly. And I would say the same thing, too.
I'll use air quotes.
Could that be a move being made by the Red Sox, too? We're actually not that desperate. I like what we have.
Right.
So people think they're not as desperate. They go, and they can pull much.
Yeah, that's
They can pull a lot more out of them.
That's a good point.
Because that could be it. Oh, they're not desperate. Oh, they think they're fine. Okay, maybe they won't offer as much, but we want to get this guy off of our team. We want to get prospects. So you know what? Fine, we'll take prospect number 21 and 27
Sure.
in the rankings.
And the Josh Naylor move doesn't hurt as bad if you land a Joe Ryan, by the way. Hey,
It
get
still
involved.
does.
Get involved with us. Email us at chat@nesson.com. Tweet at us using the hashtag NessonChat. Call us 617-790-0928. What are you looking forward to this weekend in this series against the Dodgers at Fenway? What do you think the Sox should do at the trade deadline, too? Get involved with us here. We'll talk about it all show long, amongst other things, right here on Boston Has Entered the Chat. Stay with us, and remember this, we have all your trade deadline coverage next Thursday. Start here with us on the chat, roll with 310 to left, and then we got the trade deadline special at 5. Time now for what's trending in the world of sports and your group chats, because George and I like to be all up in your business. George, did you see this? Snitches get stitches.
Do they?
Former Memphis DB Taj Rael gave USTA QB Owen McCowan the team's playbook. No, literally. Here's a tweet. Look at this. This is the receipts right here. Screenshot. The Roadrunners, of course, won the game, 44-36. How could you not? You had the whole playbook. Are you kidding me, bro? Here's a conversation right here, George. I mean, we see it in plain sight. You were caught in 4K, bro. How do you give the playbook to the ops? Now, this is a former player.
He was off the team by the time they played San Antonio.
But I want retribution. Something like there's got to be a punishment. There's got to be something. This can't be a norm. This can't happen.
That screenshot, too, also looks like it was the messages that he sent.
Yes.
Who'd you sending that to, and then that gets leaked? And imagine you're in that Purdue locker room with him, and you're looking at him going, you did what, my man? And, like, once you leave here, what are you going to do here? That's wild, man. I cannot believe that. He's like, I'll send you better screenshots. Safeties are ass. I get it. You're upset. You're not playing. You hit the portal.
Bro, he was telling
you do that?
Everything.
Yes. That is something. That's nasty work, man.
Espionage.
That's immaturity. Yes.
That's betrayal.
You're also an idiot if you're doing that, man. Like, that's because you looked at the guys that you've been with in camp since day one.
Yeah.
Your teammates you've been, like, the blood, sweat, tears you put into football, and I mean that in a serious way.
Yeah.
Even though it's a cliche. And you're like, I don't care about any of them. Again, in your new locker room now at Purdue, which I don't know if it's a level up, like Memphis, Purdue. I know Purdue's Big Ten.
I would think it's a level up.
Right. But now those guys in that locker room are going, you did what?
Yeah.
With the last school you were at?
Bro.
The first school to give you a chance and an opportunity? Weird, man.
I just had this conversation with Casey Hudson, who was on here. There just needs to be guardrails in college sports in general now. Transfer portals, NIL, crap like this. It's the Wild Wild West, George. Mm-hmm. And there's no one overseeing. There's no governing body. There is, but they're not involved. It's corrupt. Like, I feel like, and we're all for, this is why I hate having these conversations, because it almost bleeds into, well, you don't want the players to get paid? No, of course we do, right? I was banging that drum for years that college athletes should be, student athletes, if you could still call them that, should be getting paid, okay? So that's not an issue for me. But it just needs more rules and regulations and, like, decorum. Like, I'm telling you, it feels like the Wild Wild West where all this wild stuff's going on, and we're watching it all unfold, but no one's stepping in and intervening and bringing some sense to any of this.
Yeah. For him to do that, it's nasty work, man. Like, I don't know what else to say. And that's what you get with the portal. Because he can just leave for another school whenever, too.
It's a cold world.
And I'm fine with that. The players getting the flexibility because what we always see coaches do. But this, nasty, man.
It's a cold world. All right, the Vegas Raiders cut Christian Wilkins due to the handling of his foot injury. So they wanted him to get multiple opinions on this thing, get more work done. He had it surgically fixed. I'm using air quotes as I say it. But the team wanted him to continue to rehab it and get some more looks at it. He's like, nah, I'm good. They said, no, you're not. See ya, you're out. Here's a tweet releasing him just 1 year after he signed a 4-year, $110 million deal. Mm-hmm. Adam Schefter says the team is voiding his remaining guarantees due to how he handled his foot injury rehab. He, of course, has filed a grievance. So here's the story right here. So the belief is Wilkins was told he needed another surgery on his foot.
Yep.
He balked at it. The Raiders are like, all right, well, we're going to pretty much void all your guarantees because, quote, it's a failure to maintain your physical condition to play.
And he had $35 million in guarantees left on his contract, and the Raiders voided that. So I don't think he would be down to take a pay cut. That'd be, again, it's like, what do you get for the buy-in? What does his foot look like? This is someone the Patriots should kick the tires on.
You think?
Why not? Why not? You add another
money.
depth piece at defensive tackle. It could be a lot of money. You don't know, though, for sure.
Yeah.
But I would guess he's 28, 29. He just came off. That was his first season in that contract with the Raiders.
Yes.
He didn't play a ton of games because of that injury. But that is someone that was really good with the Dolphins, was at the peak of his ability at a young age, and then went and got paid. He's going to want to get paid again.
Yeah.
This doesn't say Patriots to me, though, because of the amount of money they paid Milton Williams. And again, it's what Mike Vrabel starts everything with. Respect the team, I respect you.
Yeah.
You're not going to listen to the team doctors and get foot surgery.
Yeah.
Who do we know is one of the most player-friendly coaches ever? It's Pete Carroll,
Yeah.
who he's just with in Vegas, and he was cool with him getting cut. So that says a lot about where Wilkins is at. He's a tremendous player. I think he's really good. Again, Jerry Jones doesn't pay anyone, but he would make sense for like a Cowboys defensive line.
I would rather that than the Patriots. And the only reason I say that, this feels like now it feels like a prove-it deal. I don't think he's going to go get a bag somewhere else.
Yeah.
I think he'll get a prove-it deal, prove that you can be healthy, prove that you're not a head case. Because this story suggests to me he may be a head case. He may have been thinking, oh, I'm good. I got my money. I'm going to rehab how I rehab. And they go, oh, you're not going to do what we say?
Yeah.
According to Article 6795, you don't get any money because we're telling you to do something and you're being insubordinate.
Yeah.
So let him go somewhere else and prove, oh, no, I'm still a beast and I'm healthy, and then hit the market, and then the Patriots can give him all the money in the world for all I care. What I don't want around here right now with this team and the current culture is a headache. And he could be, and he's clearly not healthy, George.
What did we love about Milton Williams? He was like, man, 5 weeks, I couldn't go on vacation. I'm working out. I picked up boxing. He's saying what the cardio does for him. And that's a guy coming off a Super Bowl ring and got more guaranteed money than Christian Wilkins. But then he's doing that. That's a culture they want to maintain. If it's a prove-it deal, if he's got a lot of humble pie and it makes you a better team, why not? Because as we talk about, this team can make the playoffs. They can be a wild card team. They can win 9, 10 games. You should do everything and explore every option to push it over the top. Now, if that's them picking between getting a Christian Wilkins or, say, a Terry McLaurin, but they'd have to trade for McLaurin, give me the wide receiver and the proven pro.
Yes.
But they should look into him on that. But I wouldn't be surprised. The Bills' cap space, I'm not 100% sure with their situation. They invested a lot in the defensive line. Adding a Wilkins, that's a team where Sean McDermott, man, they have to win.
Yeah.
He could be the coach where they can get 13, 14 wins, get into the playoffs. If they lose, he could be fired.
Absolutely.
You need to invest as much as you can in that defense.
Yeah.
Chiefs, same thing. You have to continue to maximize Patrick Mahomes' window. Go with the Denver Broncos. I wouldn't be shocked if they inquire on him, too.
Any of those teams works for me, just
I
not
could go
this
through
one.
contenders.
Yeah.
The LA Chargers, they should look into it, too.
Again, though, George, it's going to be a prove-it deal.
Yes.
And I just think even with the Love Boat incident with Stephon Diggs, boy, that went away fast, didn't it? It's been crickets out of him since. I mean, he's holding puppies. He's like the nicest guy in the world. You don't even see Cardi B anymore. Now, we'll see if this is sustainable or not, but my point is Vrabel has control. And so I don't want anyone in here who's even a potential head case or certainly has injury concerns. I like what the Patriots are doing in the direction they're moving in now. How about this one? I'm going to let George cook here. Diamondbacks first baseman. What do you know? Josh Naylor, someone we've talked about ad nauseum here on this very program, traded to the Mariners. Here's a tweet from Jeff Passan right here. The Mariners acquire first baseman Josh Naylor from the Arizona Diamondbacks. George, this is somebody the Red Sox could use. A real everyday first baseman with a bat, playoff experience. We talked about
28.
Yes, and you said don't wait till the deadline. Not only did they not go get this guy, but he goes to the Mariners, a team that needs the same things as you.
Yep.
A first baseman with a bat. They have offensive issues.
Yep.
They go get him, and they're fighting you for a wild card.
Literally neck and neck, same record in the standings pretty much, day in, day out.
This one hurts.
And they gave up the Mariners, their 13th and 16th ranked prospects. That's it for a proven commodity at first base. While the Red Sox have Abraham Toro, who's been good and can be a platoon guy, but he's hitting 240 with a 600 OPS his last 25 games. He's cooled off. He's made mistakes on the base path. And again, you point out that playoff experience. That's what makes Josh Naylor so dang valuable. And that's a guy, whether he has arbitration left or not, whether he has a long-term contract left or not, if you only have to give up 2 top 15 prospects to get him, and if you're the Red Sox where you have 5 pitchers in your top 10 for prospects, so maybe you give up a Luis Perales and a, Blaze Jordan. who are 2 top 20 guys, right? In their system, according to SoxProspects.com. I always go with their rankings. They do a great job.
They do.
That's all you have to give up for a first base bat.
Right.
With playoff experience, that is dominated against pitchers in this division, that is familiar with the American League from his time with the Guardians.
Yeah, and you keep him away from someone who's trying to keep you out of the postseason.
Again, and this comes on the heels of the Red Sox pride themselves on efficiency that we got out of Jeff Passan, but that's coming from someone like a Craig Breslow. And it's an inefficient market. I get that, but that's the trade market.
Yeah.
That's the trade deadline. And just as we point out, where they were quick and urgent to trade Rafael Devers on Father's Day, right?
Yeah.
Just because the trade deadline is July 31st doesn't mean you wait till then to trade. They could have made this move so long ago.
Yes.
And they could have had a first baseman. And this is the type of bat that flips games.
Yeah.
Instead of winning 1 of 3 against the Cubs, 1 of 3 against the Phillies, you could have taken 2 of 3 and been better, and he benefits you in the postseason.
When you see that this asking price wasn't as high as all of us thought it would be, what does that suggest to you? That they never even kicked the tires? They didn't pick up the phone? They're just waiting till the deadline?
I think that it says to them they didn't like that he is a pending free agent, and this was a rental acquisition by the Mariners, and they think if they wait till the winter, then they can sign him.
Okay.
And then they keep a Luis Perales. Then they keep, a Blaze Jordan.
Yeah.
And what they're going into with the timeline on some of their pitchers, like Crochet's here long term.
Sure.
Lucas Giolito, we'll see.
Yeah.
Walker Buehler will be gone. They have, again, I say that though, in the other end, they have 5 pitchers in their top 10 for prospects. If 20% of those guys pan out, then they could be starting pitchers that could round out the rotation, and then they pay Josh Naylor instead of giving up those guys. That's the way they look at it. He was a pending free agent, and they would rather wait till the winter to acquire that, like a Sandy Alcantara, instead of giving up assets for a rental.
Oh, yeah.
My thing, though, it's, I would part with the pitcher. I keep saying Blaze Jordan's name, but a guy that could be is a 4A player. I don't know what Blaze Jordan really becomes, but his ceiling to me could be a platoon third baseman, a platoon infielder, right?
Sure.
That's his ceiling. I'd be fine with parting with that to get Josh Naylor in my building, giving him an extension right now,
That's
not
what I
letting
was
him
going
hit
to say.
the open market.
Why don't just pay him that?
And then you could have him until he's 34.
Oh, man.
That's the way I look at it. But it's the same with a lot of these conversations. We know 10% of what's going on. We know 10% of the prices, 10% of the negotiations. If that, I think I'm being generous by saying we know 10% of what's happening.
Right.
See?
This conversation
I wish they got him. I wish they got him.
I did
wanted them to
too.
get him.
And especially him going to the Mariners. That one, that's what really hurt me.
100%.
That hurts.
You are totally justified in that. You let someone right there in front of you or tied with you in the wild card standings get this bat, and you need him. Toro is good. He's hit his wall. This team needs support throughout the lineup.
Yeah.
And that is someone you could have gotten. Again, 2 top 20 prospects. Top 15, fine. I would have done it.
I know.
I would have done it.
We'll call an audible, go back to football, start, bench, or cut. Patriots edition next, right here on Boston Has Entered the Chat. Stay with us. Time now for a game of start, bench, or cut. Patriots edition. Yeah. Do-do-do. Do-do-do. Come on down.
What's up, guys? I'm George Balekji. I'm a big fan of the show. Grew up watching. I can't wait to play, man.
So happy to be here, man.
Hey, I just want to shout out my mom and my dad watching back home.
We want you to play with us. 617-790-0928. Call us. Get involved here.
No, I love this.
It's fun. Start, bench, or cut. Wide receiver edition for the Patriots. Now,
well, I want to say, too, we're going to read off. We have 3 rounds.
Yes.
You guys are watching.
Yes.
Call in with who you would start, bench, and cut.
That's right.
And let us know. 617-790-0928.
Okay, so here's the deal. We're going to assume that the Patriots are going to keep 6 wideouts. You go with that? Need a pen? We can share a pen. Community pen, bro. All right, round 1. Play at home.
Okay.
Again, 617-790-0928. Get involved. Round 1. Pop Douglas.
Ooh.
Kendrick Bourne.
Oh. Start, bench.
Big body Benz is what I call him. Mac Hollins.
Start, bench, cut.
Start, bench, cut. Pop Douglas, Kendrick Bourne, Mac Hollins.
This is tough.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes.
You want me to go first since it's easy for me?
Yeah, go.
Great. I don't need the pen. Pop Douglas, start. Listen, I had garbage at wide receiver last season. You know who showed up? Pop Douglas. Mm-hmm. Start. Bench. He's new. I'm not a fan, but I like that he's a big body. I think we need more of these in the wide receiver room. I'll go Mac Hollins because he's new. I'll bench him, and I'm cutting Kendrick Bourne because I've seen enough. I've seen this movie time and time again. How many times I got to watch it? You're going to show me signs and then get hurt. In 3, 2, 1, you're out. Cut. Easy. You go.
It doesn't make sense because they just got him. But I'm coming in that Ellie Wolf was fired yesterday,
Uh-oh.
and I'm the new GM.
What?
I'm Mike Vrabel's right-hand man. I'm starting Demario Douglas, I'm benching Kendrick Bourne, and I'm cutting Mac Hollins. Mac Hollins is a special teams player. He's a wide receiver forward.
Wait a minute.
You
argued with me when I said all these things when they signed him. Now you're going to sit up here and say cut him?
Because I got to play this
on my
game.
side when I said this is a stupid signing?
Because I have to play this game, and I got to cut one of these 3 guys.
Lord have mercy.
Demario Douglas is starting. I think he's a wide receiver 2 in this offense. Kendrick Bourne adds a lot with experience in this system.
Until he gets hurt.
Good. Now, full year. He tore his ACL. His first rookie season. His first season here, he had a great year with Mac Jones. Second season, it was Matt Patricia and Joe Judge, and he was in the doghouse just because he called out Matt Patricia at practice for how dumb the whole situation was with that offense. And he was 1,000% justified.
He was right.
Kendrick Bourne, I appreciate you for speaking on my behalf because that man's a moron, and I'm sorry for what he did to you that year. And then 2023 was 2023, and then he tore his ACL in 2024. But now he is back. Or he was returning from a torn ACL, last season.
But now
he's like 100% back.
Yes.
I am keeping him because he did look good from what I've seen in training camp. He brings experience. He run blocks. He is a Patriots wide receiver, and Josh McDaniels likes him. Mac Hollins can be good for you every once in a while in the red zone. Sometimes on third down, and he's a special teams edition.
Yeah,
I'm cutting Mac Hollins.
He also doesn't wear shoes. He walks around
That's fine. I'm all for that.
I can't trust that.
Do you ever do that, grounding?
I can't trust that. I can't trust
It's
I don't mind grounding, but if you're walking around all the time without shoes, I can't trust that.
You
go in the restrooms like that, bro?
Yeah, you get out of your car, the Walgreens parking lot, into a Walgreens barefoot. It's nasty.
I can't trust that. You need to keep a tetanus shot in your pocket at all times. I can't trust that. 617-790-0928. All right, round 2. Stephon Diggs.
Okay, starter. Cool.
Jalen Polk, Javon Baker. Ooh. Can I just start Stephon Diggs and cut the rest? Oh, no? It's start, bench, cut? Okay.
I got to bench one of those guys?
You know what?
I can only cut one?
I don't like what you told me from, here's a pen if you need it. I don't like what you told me from day 1 of camp about Polk. However, and for those of you who missed it, George suggested, just his opinion, that Jalen Polk is not in shape, potentially. I hate that, but there's no confirmation there. So because there's no confirmation yet, even though I trust you, for now, I'm going to give him benefit of the doubt. I'll go start Diggs, I'll bench Polk, and I'll cut Javon Baker. Neither one of these guys gave you anything last year at all, Polk nor Baker. Neither one. But Baker gave you less. Polk gave you a little bit more. I'll go Polk for bench. But I want to cut all of them except Diggs. I do.
I'm starting Stephon Diggs, no duh.
Okay.
I'm benching Javon Baker, and I'm cutting Jalen Polk. Because Jalen Polk at this point gets redundant with this offense. Stephon Diggs, slot. Demario Douglas, slot. Kendrick Bourne, slot. Jalen Polk, slot. Efton Chisholm, if you want to be something, slot. Javon Baker brings that skill set that a Kyle Williams has. Can be good down the field, is athletic. He's very raw. And I'm not saying because I'm benching him, he's eventually going to play. Maybe he needs more time to mature in redshirt and get his head literally in the game and earn his way onto the field. But I'm going with the higher ceiling here, and the much higher ceiling is Javon Baker. At best, Jalen Polk is like a, poor man's Jacoby Myers, but not as big, not as athletic, and not as smart. So, I just don't see it.
That was the worst backhanded compliment of all time. He's a poor man's kind of average receiver in this league, but he doesn't have any of the traits of this average receiver. So really,
Jacoby Myers is a starting wide receiver in the NFL.
Yeah, he's all right.
And he's good.
He's all right.
I would take him. I don't think Jalen Polk ever becomes a starter.
Yeah.
Javon Baker's upside with his ball skills, with his speed, and he does have good hands, and his athleticism on the boundary. Yeah. He could be a good jump ball type receiver. He could be a good situational wide receiver.
Nah.
So I'll bench Javon Baker. I'm gonna keep developing him. I believe in the young man.
I don't believe in none of them. Round 3, Kayshon Boutte, Kyle Williams, or Efton Chisholm. Start, bench, cut. I mean, I'm obviously going to start Boutte because he gave me some plays last. What? Why are you looking at me like that? He gave me some plays last year. I'm not going to, again, let's review.
Keep the damn pen.
Let's review my previous comment that this wide receiver core sucked. Okay, let me be more clear. However, I saw Bob Douglas making plays. I saw Boutte give me a couple plays every now and again. I'm going to start him. I'll bench Kyle Williams because he's new. I don't know. Let's give him some time for the youngster. I know everyone's telling me how great he is, but let's see it. You're going to be on the bench and earn it, kid. And then I got to cut Efton Chisholm because we don't know anything. Although, I do think he's versatile enough, even if you cut him in this scenario.
Practice squad him.
Yeah, you can move him around.
No, I am being frugal. I am being cutthroat. This is last cuts. I need a 53-man roster. You keep your damn pen, Elliot Wolf. I am cutting Kayshon Boutte. I am starting Kyle Williams, and I am benching Efton Chisholm. So my 6 wide receivers I'm breaking camp with are Damari Douglas, Stephon Diggs, Kyle Williams, Kendrick Bourne, Javon Baker, and Efton Chisholm.
Why? Why are you cutting him? He made plays last year.
Yeah, he was the best receiver on the worst offense in the NFL. He was the best pass catcher in an offense. Yes, he stinks.
That's not his problem.
He's okay down the field. He's not fast. He doesn't separate. He doesn't run the smartest routes. And he would always sound off. Yeah, I told the offensive coordinator, give me the ball, and he gave me the ball. And look how that worked. You lost by 30. Congrats, buddy. What are you doing?
Fault.
Are you kidding me?
That's not his fault.
Yes, that is.
All right, go through your 6.
I don't like Boutte at all. I think Kyle Williams much better upside. He's going to be good down the middle and down the field.
Right.
And Efton Chisholm, I will stash him and I'll bench him and I'll develop him. And I think he can be something down the road.
Give me your 6 before we go to break.
My 3 starters, Damari Douglas, Stephon Diggs, Kyle Williams. So I'm running 11 personnel.
We're same page.
My bench pieces, Kendrick Bourne, Javon Baker, Efton Chisholm.
Bro, we're so different. I have Boutte, Hollins, Chisholm.
It's literally as if we made X's across difference on the list.
Our starters are the same.
Yeah.
So we agree there.
You're cutting Chisholm.
No, I have Chisholm. I have Boutte, Hollins, and Chisholm.
Oh, that's for you.
So I got rid of who? Bourne, and who else? And Baker.
Who did you get rid of in round 3?
And Polk.
No.
Well, I didn't play the game how we played the game.
Who did you get rid of? Boutte, Williams, and Chisholm.
Here's where you're confused. Here's where you're confused.
You cut Chisholm.
In our game, I cut Chisholm.
But he's on your practice squad.
Yeah, the 6 I'm keeping in real life.
I'm playing the game how it's supposed to be played, Travis.
I changed the rules.
Like I told you guys, I'm a lifetime fan. You're disrespecting this game. Slam my laptop shut. Till Monday.
How did you catch that I changed the rules in the middle of the game?
Because our producer, Ethan, is awesome, and he gets in my ear, too.
He's like, wait, Travis isn't playing right.
He's going, the host is messing around. The only show where the guests also get an IFB.
I mean, what else is next? We're going to give away playbooks around here.
Bring Drew Carey back. What is this?
We're going to call the ops and tell them everything we do.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for watching us here. Boston has entered the chat on Nesson, but the party can't stop.
Excuse
won't
me.
Stop.
They have a lemonade stand over here. It shouldn't be on the sidewalk. Get out of here, Karen.
Their music's too loud.